all time.
Got held up in Troskovitz.
Of all places. And it's not the first time.
I feel
I
quite
know,
hungry.
but I was going past and I thought I'd try to sell some baskets and ointments there. And I succeeded. To do.
Aye. Thank you, Pavlena. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Nothing against the hospitality of the good women folk here, but I want to get to Trotsky Castle right away.
Good day.
What about the rest of our company? Could someone else have got away?
You saw for yourself. They didn't stand a chance. But you're right, we shouldn't just leave it at that. As soon as we get to Trotsky, I'll make sure they get a proper Christian burial and their souls find peace.
And when we get back to Ratai, we'll have a mass served for them.
You're right. They were damned good lads. I'd known Oates since childhood. Damn it.
What about Mutt? He's bound to be looking for us, and we can't just abandon him.
Henry, I like your dog, but that's not our priority right now.
He saved my skin.
So did I. First Trotsky, von Bergov and the mission, then we can look for your dog.
All right. But the moment things are sorted out, I'll go looking for him.
I'd expect no less of you. So, should we get going?
Hold on a bit. Before we hit the road, there's something you should know. I have a hunch that one of that band that ambushed us at the pond was Istvan Toth.
Toth? Are you yanking my pizzle? He's long since over the hills and far away.
I tell you, I saw him there.
Of course, Henry. I know you have accounts to settle with him, but that's nonsense. Toth is in Sigismund's service and is harassing his opponents. And Otto von Bergov is one of Sigismund's allies. So Toth's hardly going to attack his people. It was dark. God knows what you saw.
I saw him, the bastard, and I'll get him.
Yes. We'll surely get him one day. I promise you. And your sword, too. But I don't think either of them are around here. But I see you haven't wasted any time and found yourself a weapon to replace that sword. That's good. You never know when you might need it around here. Come on, let's get going. Your mind will turn to better things along the way. hope they've got a good physician at this castle. Or at least a barber. I mean, that old crone got me on my feet. But I don't believe much in herbal remedies. You can't beat an educated man of medicine.
And I can't wait to sleep in a proper bed.
And some wine!
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, it's closed. Open up! I bear an urgent message for your liege lord. Hear me! Open the gate! I am a messenger from Sir Hanush of Lipa. Shit! Fuck! You fucking cunts! Do you know who I am? No, we fucking don't! I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, heir to Ratai! Now, look here, you filthy beggar! I'm not here for your amusement, so get your stinking, ragged asses out of here on the double. The pair of you!
What's all this about? Why don't you send those beggars packing?
I did, sir. They say they're messengers.
I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. Envoy...
I heard. Nevertheless, I doubt Sir Hanush would send two vagabonds covered in excrement as emissaries. Apart from which, Sir Hans Capon is dead. We found his body by the pond. His company was ambushed by outlaws, and they were slaughtered to the last man.
Yes, they ambushed us, but we managed to get away.
Sir, we met your Captain Thomas on our way. He can testify to who we are. He saw our message and its seal.
How terribly unfortunate you are. The captain's company was also ambushed by outlaws. The captain barely escaped with his life and has been delirious for 3 days. And even if he did confirm your story, I am under strict orders to admit no strangers to the castle.
Sir, there's a horseman approaching in King Sigismund's colours.
Ah, now that's what a messenger looks like. Count yourselves lucky that I don't have time to waste on you. Be gone!
I'm getting in, whether you like it or not.
Your shitty hands off me! Look, wait. Wait, one moment!
What the fuck was that?
So now what?
There's only one thing we can do.
Have you two got any groschen?
What do you take me for, wench?
For someone who stinks like a badger.
Look, we've had a tough couple of days, so we'd like a bit of peace and quiet, a beer, and a bite to eat.
Unless you want to share a bowl of gruel, you're going to need more coin than this.
Just bring the best you have, and we'll settle later.
As the gentleman wishes.
Well, she's not far off. We look like a couple of beggars, and we stink even worse.
What the fuck was all that at the gate? You try to talk to them and get shit poured on your head.
Different lands, different customs.
God's holy britches.
I expect they've had trouble with beggars at the castle, so they act without thinking.
Oh, really? I'd never have figured that out. I'd rather hear some cunning plan how to get out of this shit. Huh?
The first thing we have to do is get ourselves into decent shape. Have a good scrub, get some better clothes. Then they might believe we're actually messengers.
That's all very well, except we can't even pay our bill here. Never mind a visit to the baths and the tailor.
So we'll earn some.
Earn?
I'm not afraid of work. And we're gonna need every groschen we can get.
And how long will it take for you to earn a few groschen? And where will you find a decent tailor? Before we get ourselves sorted out, Sigismund will be sitting on the throne in Prague.
So what do you suggest? Going back to Ratai?
To Ratai? You just don't get it, do you? We can't go crawling back like this. We'd be a laughing stock.
I suppose you're right. We'd be taken for total idiots.
Well, you could shrug that off. But me, we've got no message, no coin, nothing but our ragged arses.
Chin up. We'll sort it out somehow, and everything will be fine again.
Nothing will be fine, my friend. I'll tell you 4 reasons why. Oates, Tankard, Conrad, and Nicholas. Instead of sitting here with us, having a chat and a laugh, they're just food for crows in some godforsaken hole.
It's not your fault they died. Don't blame yourself.
We have to take care of their bodies at least. They were good Christians, even though it didn't always seem that way.
We'll keep the promise we made at Pagenas. The best way to honor their memory is to finish our mission. We'll get inside the castle. You'll see. We'll avenge our lads and go back to Ratai with our heads held high. I promise you that.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Food. About bloody time.
Here we are. Gentlemen.
What is this stuff?
Hey, there's meat in that. And there's more than you gave me coin for. When you're finished, report for work.
Cheers.
What is it? It's that woman from the pond. Or the one you gave us away for.
Fight bear that witch. Wench!
What I tell you?
What are you waiting for? She can vouch for who we are. Go to her.
God be with you. A full pitcher of wine, please.
My word, that's a picture and a half. I ain't seen you here before. Who sent you? Not them nomad vagabonds, I hope.
Don't worry. I've come from the castle. I'm Catherine, and I've got the lovely job of keeping the soldiers' throats wet.
Ah, That's another matter then. Oh my. Ugh. Can you smell that too?
Oof. It stinks like something died here.
Sorry to interrupt.
Jesus, fella. That's a bit much.
Hey, youngster, if you want to go around mixing with my guests here, go and wash the stench off yourself at the trough first. Stinking up my establishment.
Health,
I heard
lads.
some talk
That's the
about
most
your
important thing.
Oh?
Enjoy yours while you...
What was that? Him and his men were attacked by bandits. Most of them are dead.
Jesus Christ!
Lord von Berghoff is beside himself and won't allow his soldiers out the castle.
Like you wanted to touch the sun.
So
Then
that's
lean
why they
forwards
sent
with
you
your
for the
arms
wine.
stretched out.
Wait a
Try
moment
to
then.
touch your toe.
I'll be right
That must
back.
hurt, don't it?
A bit, at least at first. But
Sorry to bother you, but I've seen you before.
I'll give it a
Oh,
try.
eh?
But not right now.
I don't remember.
My belly would get in the
Hold
way.
on. Are you the boy that cleans the pitch under the
Better
castle
have a
shitting
drink
hole?
instead. Eh? Good elf, then.
You were attacked by those bandits.
What bandits?
I hear
What
one
are you
of
on
them
about?
nomads is an acrobat who does all kinds of tricks.
You were attacked at the pond. You, some other women, and so were we as it happened.
I have no idea what you're on about.
Sword fight.
I work at the castle and I wasn't at any pond.
You ain't ever been tempted to try it at least.
even if I was tempted,
And I have no idea why you're trying to deny it. I saw you with my own eyes. You were washing laundry there with some other girls.
Well, I reckon you weren't looking too much at faces, eh? Clear off, you lecher.
Here's your wine. Is this vagabond bothering you?
I can handle the likes of him myself. Thanks for the wine. Bye.
Please, I don't know what's up with you, but I know you were there. I need your help. You owe me that much. But we need to get to von Berghoff, and you're the only one who can confirm who we are.
You can't get into the castle. And even if you could, that was the king's messenger. Von Berghoff is getting ready to ride out.
Shit.
If you want to speak to him, the best place would be Samin's wedding. He'll be there. For sure.
No, wait.
And don't ever lay your hands on me again!
What are you gaping at? Have you nothing better to do?
Doesn't half taste good today.
nicely settled. Cold, straight from the cellar.
Not like
Why are you
warm
standing
sort
here
of
like a
place.
pillar of salt?
Getting a mug of
Are you
coffee
ready?
for a whole day out in the field.
What for?
Do
To
not
get to
worry
work,
Betty's head.
you pair ordered a lot more than you paid for. So you work your debt off, like I said.
All right. What do you want us to do?
Over there by the gate, there's a cart with sacks of flour from the mill. My old man was meant to take them into the house. But as soon as he got a sniff of work, he vanished into thin air. The second door in there leads to the pantry. That's why I need you to haul the sacks. You have to lay each sack on the planks, so they don't touch the damp floor and go moldy. If you just chuck it on the floor in the corner, it'll spoil. So do it properly. 2 men can finish the work in a jiffy, and then we'll be quits.
Most of all,
All right, we'll do it. Carrying a few sacks won't kill us. For sure, it's less daunting work than fighting bandits in the woods.
Aye, it's terrible about them bandits. We never had nothing like that here before. Like it or not, you can't pay what you owe me, so I'm putting you to work. Is that clear?
All right, we'll do it.
Glad to hear it. I can see you ain't stuck up like your mate. Where are you actually from, if you don't mind me asking?
I could get in through my own.
Scallis.
He works in Samin's stable.
Never heard of it. I ain't been further than the back off me whole life. But I know this place inside and out.
One for wine. There'll be ale and all. A lordly wedding.
I heard some talk about some wedding being planned here.
I hope
Ah,
Rover don't let me down.
nobody's talking about nothing else. Young Lord Samin is marrying Agnes, the daughter of Thrush, our Truscovitz bailiff. And it's going to be a grand affair. When rich folks get married, that's a feast that's a lot different from when some tanner gets hitched to a bathhouse wench.
Will Lord von Berghoff be at the wedding?
How should I know what his lordship's plans are? But most likely he will be. Samin is his vassal.
Who is this Semin?
Can't you tell by the name? The Lord of Samin. The fort and the village belong to him. Old Jan Samin is the head of the family, and his son's called Olda. And it's him who's getting itched. There used to be a rich family. Their glory's faded a bit, but they still have some clout.
Where's the wedding going to be?
At Samin, of course. I expect old Sir Jan and our bailiff will try to outdo each other in showing off their wealth.
Could I get to the wedding somehow?
I don't know about that, lad. It's for invited guests only.
It seems that's really our only chance.
What's that?
Oh, nothing.
If you want to find out more, there's a couple of invited guests having an ale over there. Young Svaja there. He's the bride's brother. He can be a bit of a pain, but he's a good lad at heart.
Is that all you know about the wedding?
What else is there to know? I'm just looking forward to being a guest and having someone serve me for a change.
What's life like here?
Better now that you and your pal have finally had a wash. Truth to tell, it used to be better. The war might be far away, but more and more young lads are going away to fight. But then there's a shortage of folk to do the work around here, and that's a big problem.
Where can I find work here?
First, you gotta carry them sacks for me, so don't bother looking anywhere else yet. But otherwise, you can find work anywhere. You just need to keep your eyes open and not be afraid to ask. Try Radovan the smith for one. He's a bit odd, but he'll pay decently for a helping hand. Come to mention it, he's sat just round the corner there, if you want to ask him about it. And that fella next to him is Miller Crazel. He needs helpers now and then, but watch out for him. You know what they say about Millers.
I've heard things all right.
Well then, be careful.
Is this the only tavern here?
In Truscovitz it is.
You must be doing pretty well then, eh?
I'd be doing a lot better if everyone paid their bills.
Where do you want the sacks moved to?
To the pantry. That's the second door inside there. But I'd split the work with your pal if I was you. So you don't do yourself a mischief. It's his debt too, ain't it?
Where's the pantry?
Second door inside the tavern. You can't miss it.
I'll go and discuss it with my friend then.
And careful with them sacks. I don't want you ripping them or anything like that.
What do you mean? Steal. What?
I talked to that woman from the pond.
I noticed. It didn't look like she was too pleased to see you, though.
The main thing is, she denied ever being at the pond.
It's definitely her, though. We don't forget a figure like hers.
I got the feeling she didn't want to talk about it for some reason. I did get something out of her, though.
What? Don't keep me in suspense.
Von Berghoff is about to leave the castle.
Sacra! If he pledges to Sigismund before we can get to him, everything's fucked.
Calm down, let me finish. There's also going to be a big wedding in the region. Young Lord Semin, a nobleman, is marrying the local bailiff's daughter. It's the talk of the region. It's invitation only, of course. But maybe we could wangle our way in somehow.
Why should some wedding in a shithole near Trotsky be of any interest to us?
Because it looks like von Berghoff will be there.
Oh, that's fantastic news, Henry. So all we have to do is get on the guest list. And that shouldn't be a problem because you've got a cunning plan, right?
I'll come up with something.
I hope so. You can't expect me to do the thinking for both of us all the time. We'll ask the locals and see.
There's something else we have to sort out first. I spoke to the innkeeper.
I noticed that too.
We can work off our debt. All we have to do is carry a few sacks of flour from that cart to the pantry. If we both do it, we'll be finished in no time.
Lug sacks? Are you yanking my noble pizzle?
I'm serious.
I can't work. I'm a noble. What if someone saw me?
Do you have any idea what you look like?
Well, all right. I may not look much like a noble, but my blood's still blue. People will remember my face, and when everything's cleared up, word will get around that I lugged sacks here like some beggar. As if the disgrace at the gate wasn't enough. Ugh!
Look, we're not in any position to pick and choose. So if you want to somehow scrape your way out of this mess, you better forget your airs and graces and make some effort. A bit of honest work won't kill you.
Henry, haven't you ever heard of the 3 states of man?
Would that be some aristocratic excuse?
Not so fast. It's God's law. Oratoris, the priests who pray for us. Laboratoris, the plebs who shovel shit and pay taxes. And Bellatoris, the warriors who protect the ones on their knees or in the fields. Now, which am I? So if you find me a sword, I can get to work. But wield a pitchfork or carry sacks? That's against God and nature.
I understand. I'm in your service, so I'll carry all the sacks. Even your share.
Thank you, Henry. And don't worry, I'll pay you back for your hard work.
I'm on it.
Thanks again for accepting it with humility. And fear not, friend, I'll repay the favor.
How? By giving me a large estate?
That too, of course. Maybe 2 estates. But above all, once we're out of the worst, I'll help you find your dog. As soon as we have at least some gear, we'll head into the forest and find Mutt in a trice. Although, if you think about the 3 states of man, looking for lost dogs is more like a huntsman's work. But let's pay no mind to that.
That would be kind of you.
I knew you'd be pleased.
There'd have to be 2 of us. I couldn't manage a pig that size on my own.
Careful.
Strong as an ox.
You're not the fella.
The innkeeper told me we should move the sacks.
So what are you waiting for? I'm bored to death already.
Deep breath. We'll talk about it.
But don't expect no more from me.
Excuse me.
We're getting somewhere at last.
A tankard of ale, thanks. Oh, please. Enjoy the
There's something off about that.
Christ, pardon me.
Listen to this. Ei incumbit probatio, qui dicit non qui negat. you say?
Say it again.
It was their own fault.
What do you mean? They attacked themselves? What the fuck are you trying to say?
Everyone knows it's dangerous around Trusky. Making camp in such an unprotected place is suicide.
Where else were they supposed to make camp, smart-ass?
Somewhere in the rocks, maybe. Not out in the open by the pond. Only a fool would do that.
I've had enough of your insults. Our men were slaughtered there.
I don't believe a word you're saying. A weed like you surviving a fight against bandits even von Berghoff himself has trouble with?
Believe what you like, but I'm telling the truth. And in fact, I'm willing to overlook all your insults if you apologize right now. And invite me to that wedding.
Oh, you want to come to the wedding, do you? Huh. I'll give you a piece of advice, pal. If you can make yourself useful for the blacksmith or the miller, you'll get to the wedding. You'll see the glorious occasion, at least from a distance. And you can stop spouting your pathetic lies.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein, and I demand your immediate apology.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. You're starting to bore me. You and your silly made-up name.
No apology, then. It looks like I'm going to have to teach you a lesson.
Oh, I'm so scared.
There's no point in this. Let's leave.
I'd do what your pal says if I were you. Get lost before something happens to you.
I give you a chance to apologize, and you keep insulting me? Get ready to pick up your broken teeth with broken fingers.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Come on, then.
You scum!
It was him!
You should have fucking stayed out of it!
Enough's enough!
Wir werden dich ausnehmen! Nice strike!
Right on the money!
Now we'll have you, you scum!
Kurva!
Wanker!
Fuck you!
Yeah! Don't spare him!
Oh, Christ!
Hey! You fucked You want to try these? You're no match for us,
Finish
fucker!
this quickly.
Jetzt reicht er!
What the hell is going on here? Grab them vagabonds!
Bastards! This will cost you dearly. Keep your mouth shut and don't make it worse. What? You behave like a spoilt brat. How dare you speak... You know, if you just shut up and done some work, we'd have coin by now and be on our way to the castle, but no, not his lordship.
You've got a nerve. If you hadn't have played the hero, we'd have been there long since and I wouldn't have had to get you out of that mess.
Oh yeah, because this isn't a mess, is it? Fuck off!
Shut up! Or you'll get a whipping too.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
Greetings.
I'm sorry, sir, but it's your fault what happened in the tavern.
What? My fault? You can't be serious. Whose fault is it that we're in this fucking pillory?
I was just defending you. Should I have let that fop beat you senseless?
I only wanted him to apologise. I'd expect my right-hand man to argue my case a bit better.
What do you think I was trying to do? We should have made ourselves scarce. None of that would have happened.
Oh, aye. Typical you, running away like a coward. If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't have even been in that tavern. We've been in the shit right from the start because you had to play at being the knight in shining underwear, saving damsels in distress.
I don't believe it. You're trying to put the blame on me? Just like that?
Who else is to blame? You're just a simple peasant who has no idea how the world works.
Hey, let's just stop all this arguing. It'll just make things worse.
Fuck you. I've had it up to here with you. With you and your pontificating. You were supposed to make sure nothing went wrong. And how did that turn out? It was me who had to save your life. You're fucking useless. You couldn't even keep an eye on your own mutt.
Oh, that's enough. This isn't getting us anywhere. I understand you're downcast after all that happened to us. And I understand you need to take it out on someone. I can take it. But we shouldn't forget we have a job to do. And do it we must. Together.
That's exactly what I'm doubting. Everything goes to shit when you're by my side.
You don't really mean that. Calm down.
I'm perfectly calm. That's it. My life went to shit from the first moment I met you. And I've only just realised it. You're like a ball and chain. And I'd have bagged that wild boar too if it weren't for you.
Well...
And none of the rest would have happened. I wouldn't have been showered in shit.
Oh, come on, Capon.
Don't you cape on me. Not another word. I have to consider what to do next.
Right, ladies. Time to go home. But I swear to Christ, if I catch you again, I'm gonna skin you both alive.
Isn't that?
What's up?
Hey! Mogo!
Oh, shit. Right, where were we? Go on, get out of my sight. What are we gonna do?
You can do as you like. You can go and carry sacks or dig latrines. I'll look after myself. I'll go and see Lord von Berghoff at the wedding. I bid you farewell.
Right. Yeah. If I were in your shoes, I'd be glad to be rid of the good for nothing, eh? Yeah. All right, off you go.
I suppose I really do need to find some job. I'll find mutt without you, you stuck-up Lord of Perkstein.
About time. Come here. Are you...
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You're welcome. At least it was good for something.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side.
Hmm?
Now things can only get better.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offence, but compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
Where might I run into Tomcat?
In the camp by the tower. That is, by Rock Tower Pond. He watches the camp for the nomads.
Should I watch out for them?
No, I don't think so. They mind their own business, but strangers usually mean trouble for them, so they're careful. Try not to stare too hard and hold your tongue, otherwise Tomcat will show you some of his other skills.
How does he show off for the girls?
With his muscles. He ricks logs with his hands. He even let himself be run over by a loaded hay wagon. Crazy. But to be fair to him, he sometimes helps people. Stanislav's sheep fell into a pit one time.
And Tomcat pulled it out?
And, not just that, he crawled down to get it. And when he found the poor thing had a broken leg, he carried it on his back all the way home.
Hey, you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
You're something like a wanderer?
Nah, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary or help in the tavern, but I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller or a nomad, but don't say it too loud. The locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
Why exactly are you helping me?
Why? Why?
Because you look like you need it.
I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how appreciated a helping hand is in times like that.
Where are you headed, if you're only passing through here?
For work, to the city. I'm tired of serving landholders. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold porridge, and a nary a groschen in sight. With the city folk, it's bound to be better.
You said you were going to a city. You mean like to Prague? Or somewhere further?
I'd like to go to Prague, but I don't know anybody there. In Kuttenberg, at least I have a cousin.
Aha. So you're going to visit her?
Well, she doesn't know it yet. But I won't be troubling her long, just until I find a way to make a living.
What do you want to do in the city?
I'll find something. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not half-witted. Maybe someone could use a cook or a servant.
Don't get your hopes up. The city can be a pretty dangerous place for a girl on her own.
You mean they don't hand out groschen by the bucketful? And the streets aren't full of roasted stuffed geese? I appreciate your concern, but I have to get to the city first. That's going to take me a long while yet.
I'm practically naked. Nobody's going to want to even talk to me like this.
At least you're not walking around bare-assed. Although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin, a monk's robe, or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
I could use some armour. Proper, like, for a night. And no rusty junk.
And you are like a knight?
Well, yeah. I don't look so good. But I swear I came here in armour, sword at my side, and on a horse.
Wow. And where is your armour, sword, and horse now?
That's a long story. And it's not a happy tale.
Well, you can hardly buy new armour now, but you might find something in the town hall armoury, although you'll need quick hands.
Thanks. These'll come in handy.
Just don't get yourself caught again.
I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like you.
The hell you will. This is my turf. Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's partly your doing anyway.
Wow. I mean, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, don't start crying. You'd better find some work quick.
Damn. I could use a horse. It'll take years to get to Semin on foot.
Don't exaggerate. This province is small.
Still, it'll be faster with a horse.
There's a stud farm in Semin, renowned far and wide.
And which way is Semin?
Southwest from here, not too far. There's a road goes right there from the green. Just go down the hill. Once you see the walled farmhouse, you're there. Though I'll be a queen before you can afford a horse from Semin.
Do you know where I might find accommodation?
Betty in the tavern lets people sleep in the hay. But you have to pay.
I'm not going near that tavern. I'd catch hell again. Got any other ideas?
If you find some work, maybe you'll get a place to sleep too.
My main concern is getting to that wedding in Semin. Do you know anything about that celebration?
Well, yeah. People are talking of nothing else. The Lord's son is getting married to the sister of that lout he was fighting with.
How much time do you think I have? Have the preparations already begun?
From what I hear, the bride's dress still ain't finished, and blacksmith Radovan still ain't started smithing the gift for the groom. So, no rush.
Hopefully by then I'll find a way to sneak in. Oh well, it was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
Lord be with you.
Morning.
Good day to you.
Welcome. You can buy everything you need from me. A few days ago, when I was returning, I salvaged some things, but the...
Were there any valuables in there?
You bet. Lord Semin ordered all sorts of delicacies and precious spices from me for the wedding feast. And for Taylor Bartishak, I was carrying expensive fabrics to make dresses for the occasion. If you only knew how much coin I spent on this.
And where did the wagon tip?
On the roads near the Catchuck Pond, beyond Jelly-Off. You can still find it there. I can't tell you how much it still pisses me off. But what can I do?
I'm sorry to hear that.
Me too. But what can I do? So, what will it be?
I wanted to ask you, what's on the other side of that nearest hill? I'm not from here, and I'd like to get my bearings. You look like a merchant to me, so you probably know best.
Ja, natürlich, you're not from here. Everyone around here knows that, after what happened in Betty's Tavern. Aber das ist deine Sache. That is your business, lad. Also, what do you want to know?
Where can I find a church round here? I'm surprised you don't even have a small chapel in the village.
If you want. Die Rettung deiner Seele, junger Mann. You have to go through the forest to Aujetz and to St. Catherine. Herr von Berger does have a chapel in his castle, but it's not for commoners like you. We do not go there either. Und warum auch? The gravedigger Ignatius takes care of burials outside the village, and weddings usually take place without a local priest. No one wants to pay the church more than they have to. Das ist ja wohl klar.
Can I find other merchants around here?
Zum Glück nicht, junger Mann. I'm the only merchant here around Trusky. Oh, natürlich. There are plenty of tradesmen here who sell their goods. There is Bartosz, the tailor. He lives at the other end of the village. The apothecary, Emmerich, lives across from me. They are hand in glove, or more like hat in hat.
What do you mean by that?
Nichts weiter. Just that they play at being educated men. Along with the scribe Geibel, they are always studying some Latin tracts. But of the three, perhaps only Geibel knows Latin, if he really does at all.
Is there anyone else here?
Oh ja. Beyond the tailor's house on the edge of the village is where Bashka the butcher lives. Opposite the Rathaus is the carpenter. The rest of the villagers are just peasants, and you are already familiar with the tavern.
Where do you go for wares? What's the closest town?
The closest is Sobotka, the biggest Gichin, what you call Gichin. And farther north there is Turnov. Half of that one belongs to Herr von Bergo.
Is it far?
Das kommt darauf an. It takes all day on foot. Wenn du was brauchst, the goods I have here will have to do you. I do not think you will get to the town anytime soon.
Is there anything I should avoid around here?
Certainly. Stirring up trouble and sticking your nose into other people's business. Here in the village, we don't care much for outsiders. If any do come, they better behave.
I understand that, but we were ambushed by bandits. So I wanted to ask if you know anything about that.
Ach so, ich verstehe. The woods have been full of all manner of rebel recently. That is all because of the war. Verdammte Schurken.
So you've already heard about these bandits?
About those ones in particular, or about others? They are all just gleichen Scheißkerle. Every time I go to the town, the bailiff must send an armed escort with me. It makes life difficult.
So the roads aren't safe?
Ja, das kann man wohl sagen. Herr von Bergo should do something about it at last. But Herr Otto spends more time in Prague than here. And Chamberlain Ulrich... Ach, lassen wir das.
What do you have for sale? I'd like to discuss the price.
Gut, versuchen wir es. I'm done haggling with you. Aye, maybe next time then.
What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I heard something's going on in Takoff again. Project the Innkeeper is probably coming up with some mischief to pull on the Zhelyevites. Will they never cut it out? Their bickering is making work for me. And now I've been visited by one of the local peasants. He said he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village, along the road to Nabokov.
What do you mean, more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang started running rampant. Most of the gang of bandits is rampaging through the region. Now someone's stealing cabbage from the peasants. What a disaster.
Cabbage?
Aye, and the peasants won't stop bugging me about it. I was just visited by a peasant from Jadar. He's been talking my ears off for God knows how long. Say, do I really have to do this? Do I have the time to look for some moron stealing cabbages? And that's about it?
That sounds interesting. Thank you.
Greetings, lad. What brings you here?
As the local scribe, you know a lot of things, right?
I'd say so. In this province, not a squirrel farts without my knowing.
Right. So, if I needed to get something, you'd certainly be able to tell me where, right?
Depends on what you're looking for. Don't involve me with anything dishonorable.
No, don't worry. I'm just looking for some armor.
Armor? Well, unless you want to join von Burgau's retinue, I don't think I can help you. But try Radovan, the blacksmith in Tachov. He might at least sell you an iron helmet.
You don't know of anything better?
Aha! So, the good man is a connoisseur, eh? And how would Prince Brunswick's armor suit you?
Whose armor?
Oh, it's just a local legend.
What legend?
It's hard to explain. There are actually 2 legends, or even 3. Well, it doesn't really matter. Why are you so interested anyway? Fine armor like that belongs in the hands of a knight.
Oh, come now. Surely you're not going to keep that legend to yourself. Do a fellow scholar a service.
Youngster, being able to piss your name in the snow doesn't make a scholar out of you.
I beg your pardon?
All right. No need to lose your temper. I'll tell you. In short, they say the armor of ancient Bohemian Prince Brunswick is hidden here, waiting for some valiant knight to find it. I don't believe it, of course. After all, I'm educated. But you'd be surprised how many fools have set off to find it.
Who exactly was this Brunswick?
You don't know, lad? Educate yourself. Brunswick was a famous Czech prince who won the lion for our country's coat of arms.
Really? How is it that I've never heard of him?
Perhaps because he never existed. Prince Vladislav II got the lion for our coat of arms for helping Emperor Frederick I, known as Redbeard.
But you just said that...
Brunswick is just a legend, but a quite lovely one, I'll give you that.
Could you recount for me the legend of Brunswick?
Well, why not? Brunswick was a valiant Bohemian prince. He lived in a time when our country had an eagle on its coat of arms, but that wasn't good enough for him. So he decided to head out into the world and gain the mark of a more powerful animal.
A man after my own heart.
You may think so, but his wife was none too happy. Her name was Ludmilla, and she begged Brunswick 100 times to stay home, but he just couldn't be persuaded. Still, he loved her very much, so he took her ring and told her that unless someone came and showed her that ring during the next 7 years, she should wait for his return. But if he failed to return after 7 years, that would mean he would never return.
Then what happened next?
Brunswick's party set out to sea, but didn't get far. They were drawn in by an island with a mysterious mountain of amber that holds all ships and prevents them from leaving. Over time, the men on the deserted island died of starvation, leaving only Brunswick, who noticed that once a year a great bird called No came to the island to hunt. And so the clever knight hid in his horse's hide at just the right time. And when the bird came, it mistook him for prey and carried him away. So Brunswick wandered on. After some time on the road, the prince came across something unprecedented. A duel between a lion and a 9-headed dragon. So, what do you think Brunswick did at that moment?
Well, considering what he later added to the coat of arms, I expect he helped the lion, eh?
Smart. Brunswick rushed to help the lion, and together they killed the dragon. And from that time on, they were stalwart companions. The lion even followed him all the way back to Bohemia. Except, by then, it was already too late.
It had already been exactly 7 years to the day since Brunswick set off on his journey. His wife, Ludmilla, who had until that time valiantly resisted all suitors, was about to remarry. But at the wedding feast, Brunswick managed to drop the ring in her cup, so it all turned out well. For Brunswick, that is. Not so for Ludmilla's new groom, but the lion took care of that.
Where did Brunswick's armour come from?
It is said that George the Lion of Württemberg brought it here. He was the nephew of Lord Chenyek of Württemberg, who built Trusky. This George spent a lot of time with King Wenceslas. A suspiciously long amount of time, if you know what I mean.
I think I get the picture.
And it is said that one day, a lion escaped from the king's menagerie, and George overpowered it with his bare hands and laid it at the king's feet, still alive. As a reward, Wenceslas gave young Württemberg the name Lion and the armour of his ancestor, Prince Brunswick. Only Sir George didn't live to enjoy it for long. He caught the plague at a tournament abroad, and died on his way back to his king. Specifically, while visiting his uncle here at Trusky. Of course, the king wanted his armour back, but Lord Chenyek didn't want to give it to him, claiming he had the hereditary right to it. It looked like Wenceslas would lay siege to Trusky, but fortunately Lord Chenyek was completely destitute by then, so he sold all of Trusky and the armour to the king.
Chenyek was broke. How come?
Because of building his castle. Trusky may be impressive, but it's too expensive for a nobleman. Even the king had difficulty paying for such a castle.
Well, if the king was so endeared with Brunswick's armour, why did he leave it here?
Because he didn't have any choice, my friend. He never found the armour. Lord Chenyek was as cunning as a fox. While he did leave... Sir Chenyek, who they say hid the armour, left behind a riddle. It's a test that must be passed by whoever wants to find it. Do you want to hear it?
And how did that riddle go?
Wait, how was it? I've got it. Take your leave of crone and maiden, standing tall behind the gates. Boldly go towards true midnight. In caverns cold your prize awaits. Pass through the all of forest kings, hidden deep from hunter's gaze. Standing tall, 2 guards of stone, behind whom yearned for treasure lays. Between them stands a mighty rock, a subtle niche, yet deeper still, a place to give one's art to God. Behold, my armour gleaming still.
Uh-huh. And that was supposed to help me, eh?
Answers come to the wise, kicks to the stupid.
The crone and the maiden towards midnight. We've got east, west, midday, midnight. Well, thanks a lot.
Hold on, I'll give you something else. Sir George, who previously owned the armour, wanted to have a nice poleaxe made in Prague too, but he died of the plague before he could do it. I'm not too certain about Brunswick and his armour, but this is certainly true, because I have a copy of George's order here. Here, take it, as a keepsake. And now, go.
What do you want, you yokel? But make it quick.
I'll have a look at the wares.
Why are you wasting my time?
God bless.
Oh, I just remembered.
Hmm?
Well, I really better go. Thank you.
Good. A bit over here. Yeah. There we go.
Greetings.
The Lord be with you.
I hope nothing's missing.
Was darf's heute Morgen sein?
I'll have a look at the wares.
Schade. Auf Wiedersehen.
are you barging in here for?
I didn't boil that chamomile long enough, did I? Should I have boiled that chamomile for a shorter time?
Bless you.
Was wünschst du, mein Freund?
I'll have a look at the wares. I'd like to discuss the price.
Gut. Versuchen wir es.
What would you say to this?
We're nearly there. Just lower your price a bit more.
That's a decent price.
Es war ein gutes Geschäft. Auf Wiedersehen.
Good to see you.
Greetings, Master Guard.
Have you come to break some more stuff?
I'm sorry.
If you want
I wasn't
something,
paying attention.
wait till I've stopped being angry. And if you don't have anywhere to sleep, they'll look after you in Gelion. Have you come to break some more stuff? Wait till I've stopped being angry.
My dog died.
If you don't
Where
have
did I
anywhere to
put
sleep,
it?
Nein.
have you come to break...
Whenever I came close.
Can I help you?
What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
Praise the Lord.
Not your day, eh?
So you don't end up here too.
I'm sorry.
God be with you.
Can I help you?
us, O Holy Mother of God, that we may be made worthy of the promises of Christ. Pour forth, we beseech thee, O Lord, grace into our hearts, that we, to whom the incarnation of Christ thy Son,
Lob sei Gott.
Was willst du hier, Bettler? What are you?
I'll have a look at the ware. Worried about the price?
Gut, versuchen wir's.
Do you accept?
You won't convince me with this.
And it looked like we'd never agree.
Du wirst sicher zufrieden sein. Bis bald.
Oh, it's just you.
What happened to you?
I'm in big trouble.
How so?
I lost a letter. A very important letter. I was supposed to deliver it to my master by tonight.
What was in the letter?
I have no idea what it said. For one thing, it was a secret, and for another, I can't read. But it was my master's beloved who sent it. That's why it was so important.
Oh, so it could just as easily have been a lewd verse.
I don't really care what was in it. The point is, I don't have it.
Do you know where you might have lost it?
I haven't the faintest idea. It must have slipped out somewhere along the way.
Would you like me to help you look for it?
There's no point now. I've been on the road for 2 days as it is. We'll never make it by tonight.
You should have been more careful with it. Losing the one thing you're supposed to deliver.
I know. So I forgot to check my bag this morning, all right? But now it's gone, and I'm fucked.
I have to be going. I hope you find the letter.
Me too. Because if I don't, I'm in for a lashing.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Wait! I have an idea. Punch me in the face.
What?
Smack me in the gob. I'll say I was ambushed on the way and they took the letter.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I'd rather take a couple of punches from you than a lashing from my master. I could tell you to stop when I've had enough. But he wouldn't. So you get why it's better for me to be slapped around by you, right?
Very well then. Defend yourself. Or not. It's up to you. You ready?
I am.
Nice. And peaceful.
God bless you.
Greetings. What do you need?
I heard you could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. What do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan. You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge. Go up to the anvil and let's get... Too long. Now you can go straight to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway. Cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. Hear that? Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. Sparks are flying nicely. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself to keep the rhythm. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it. Right. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
What good does it do me to whistle while I work?
It makes you work to a rhythm. You won't get tired so quickly, and the iron feels it.
How do I know a good strike from a bad one?
By the sparks that fly up, and by the ring. It rings out with a different sound when you do it right.
What's the right way to heat up the workpiece?
Do it till it turns the color of straw. Ideally, the color should be the same everywhere, if your forging's going to be even. The main thing is, don't work it cold. You just ruin it. But don't overheat it either. As soon as sparks start to fly off it in the furnace, take it out.
Why should I forge evenly?
If you keep hammering the same spot, you'll never finish it. You'll just fuck it up. But jumping from one end to the other ain't a good idea neither. You'd end up working unevenly. The best thing to do is aim each strike next to the one before.
How will I know it's finished?
Notice the shape. The closer you are to finishing, the more precise the shape it will have.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed. And there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime you want. Any questions?
Where can I get materials?
You can buy some essentials from me. But if you want to make a fancy sword with lots of ornamentation, you'll have to look elsewhere. This is just a village, you know. The locals ain't after luxury. And they can't afford it neither.
What can I do with the items I've forged?
Well, you can sell them. Though you probably won't have much luck around here. But I'll happily buy some of the nicer things from you.
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right, here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sakura, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work. How can I help you today, friend? What are you here for, friend?
Show me your wares. Let's talk about the price.
Sure. Why not?
How's this?
We're getting close. Lower your price a little more and we can shake hands.
I'll go for that.
Pleasure doing business. Take care.
Ave Maria.
God be with you. What would you like?
Good afternoon.
How you doing? I'm Henry.
Nice to meet you. I'm Zdeněk. I'm a storyteller. I could tell you stories so sad they'd make the devil cry. Or would you prefer something so scary it'll make the hairs on your ass turn white? But it's a lot of hard work for me. Now, if you had something to drink or a couple of groschen, that might help loosen my tongue.
All right.
I know quite a few stories myself. How about a trade? A story for a story.
All right, then. But if it's the one about the magic porridge pot, don't bother. I've heard it 100 times. And that story always leaves me feeling hungry.
I know a romantic tale about a knight, his lady love, and 3 impossible tasks he had to undertake to win her heart. He had to bring her the sweetest wine, tame the wildest horse, and make a crown with the rarest gem.
And then? What happened when he'd done all 3?
Well, the lady of his heart showed her gratitude by giving him the most precious thing she had. And I'm not talking about gold.
Ho! A raunchy ending. That'll be popular with the lads round here. If I were you, I'd make it longer. To last a whole evening. Add a wicked stepmother, that sort of thing. It'll be a hit. And now, I'll tell you a tale in return. So what kind of story would you like to hear?